What's up, everybody? What's up, guys? Um, well, it's that time of the year. There are primarily sad people in this league. Most people aren't in the championship. I guess there's maybe two happy teams that just managed to escape the toilet bowl. Shout out to one of them, our lovely guest, Steve. First appearance on the pod this year. Steve, how you been?
I've been good. I've been good. Thanks for having me on, guys. It's a pleasure and an honor to be on as always. Excited to talk about what happened to the big ballers this year. Very excited to go a little in depth, a little behind the scenes on
Little
what happened.
investigative journalism.
Oh yeah.
I'm
Well, it
excited.
was me, so
This is my first ever episode with
The best one.
Steve.
Yeah.
oh Tyler,
Uh,
that's right. Because it was me and me, Josh, and Slunch.
yeah, and
Here
just
in
talked about
Slunch.
soccer for like
That's
This
right.
a
Yeah.
while. We
is the
talked about
first time combination of people here. Wild things
yeah,
I
have
know it
happened.
was really critical to get me on an early episode when things didn't matter and I didn't have to talk too much football. But I'm glad we got in the middle of the fantasy playoffs. This is
It's
good
all
times, I
right.
think.
Welcome to
yeah.
championship week, baby.
This is time. This is the
Thank you.
prime time. This is when it really matters. Just perfect. Uh, Now, I personally didn't watch a lot of the football games because I was at the Patriots game this last weekend, and let me tell you what I have to report. The Patriots seem to have lost.
I don't want to talk
Uh,
about that.
that was unfortunate. It's at least it's gonna be. Honestly, I think right now we're facing the Bills in the wild card round, which is kind of wild, and that would be fun. But additionally, the Chiefs are eliminated from the playoffs. Big wins.
War is
Whoa.
over. We did it.
Whoa.
We did it. It's the photo of
Yep.
the guy and the girl kissing in the middle of the street. War is over, baby. It's done.
Yay. Yep. So
And
that
Patrick
in
Mahomes
other
tore his
news,
ACL. R.I.P. That's unfortunate.
yeah. Right. This brings us to our trivia of the day. What year did Tom Brady tear his ACL of his career?
2011. Nope, 12.
Hmm? Was it 12? I
Was it
mean, I know
earlier?
this.
Josh, I'm going to lock in 2011 on this.
All right. Well, you are unfortunately wrong, as
Was it
Tom Brady
2000?
actually tore his ACL in 2008.
It was
It was
2008?
it was Tom Brady's ninth year in the league that he tore his ACL against the Kansas City Chiefs in the season opener. Now, this is Patrick Mahomes' ninth year in the NFL. So comparisons are being drawn between their two careers. Now, here's the key. Just before tearing his ACL, Patrick Mahomes made sure that the Chiefs did not make the playoffs. So it's a much less impressive end there than Tom Brady, who missed an entire season. But yeah, kind of interesting duality there. Both tore their ACL in their ninth season.
Mm.
No. Other injuries
I
include
like that.
Micah Parsons, torn
Yeah.
ACL. That's a bummer. Tough
Been a,
stuff.
been a lot of torn ACLs this year.
Yeah.
And we're still playing on turf for some reason.
But you know what? You know what the big story of the year is, personally. Let's talk about a little guy named Kyle Pitts, who had
I don't want to talk about
wait,
Kyle Pitts.
you don't want to talk about Kyle Pitts? He scored 7% of his total fantasy points in his career this week. And he scored like 20 something percent of his total touchdowns in his career this week. This dude had a week. Fifth best tight end fantasy performance in history. I mean, what a time. But, like I said, folks, we're sad here. And this is the vibe we're getting. Now, Steve, you just escaped the toilet bowl by a measly 60-ish points.
Thank you.
Well done. Well done. Uh, I think everyone is curious. I'm curious. What got you here? Because you almost made history being in a position to choose your own song. How do you end up in the toilet bowl?
Josh, as I think you guys have talked a lot about on this podcast, there were a lot of things that went wrong to get me to this point in my season. I jotted down a quick list of my top 5 worst moments of the season that I would like to share with you.
Please do.
Honorable mention, I wasted a 10th round pick on a man who is not currently confirmed to still have 2 feet, Joe Mixon. I followed that story. I don't watch football. I don't really follow football. I followed that story for like 6 weeks. No one could confirm that that man still has the ability to walk. And I kept him on my roster, and I wasted a 10th round pick on him. That was an honorable mention. I also wanted to bring up the 4 weeks in which I played a game that was decided by less than 6 points. I went 0-4. Separate from those weeks where I scored the second most points in the league, I went 0-2. None of those games coincide. Those were 6 separate games. I tied one of my best moments in with one of my worst. I set the record this season for most times anyone has owned Bryce Young. I have proudly owned Bryce Young 4 times, which is a league record. I checked before we filmed. On the downside of that, to acquire Bryce Young, I dropped Daniel Jones before week 1, which was pretty much my only weakness throughout the season, was my QB2. So that was kind of a high moment and a low moment.
Yeah.
I had the week where I lost to Slosh on the final play of Monday Night Football, which is one of the few games I watched, which was Marcus Mariota throwing a garbage time interception to lose me the game by 1 point. I had the famous Travis Hunter week, which delighted that got cleared up. Cannot emphasize, I think I went 1-7 in my first 8 weeks. Heartbreaking to wake up to a win during that span. Over the moon. I'm telling people about it. I'm excited. I have a little pep in my step the next day. And I see this funny little notification from Sleeper. Travis Hunter scoring adjusted. And I say, I wonder if we're further rewarding the only player to play both sides of the ball, which would have been a move I respected. No.
Dude,
Someone took it under their power to correct the settings in the league on the cusp of my win and strip it away from me. Hindsight, absolutely the right move. Should have been stripped from me. Good call. Heartbreaking in the moment.
Yeah, we look at Steve, pep in his step, waking up, and then we cut to Josh at work looking at the screen like, wait, no. Fuck. The torment I went through of like, oh, I know what I must do. I don't want to do it.
On the plus side, at least I didn't make it easy for you. I complained enough. I got my money's worth.
At least it went well.
And I got a nickname 4 players, I think, out of it, which was a fun little boost.
Let's see. Not many.
You still have it. I know you dropped one of them, but if you still have any of those players,
I still have. I dropped Scatabo. I dropped Browning. Who else did you name?
I don't remember who the last player was.
The last player.
I'm sure it's in our sleeper games.
Oh, it's back there somewhere. We just gotta scroll. Tyler, play.
Found it. Last message we sent to each other. I named Ted McMillan the Ted Offensive.
Yep, and Ted is still there.
So 1 for 3.
And
then I think Jordan traded away the player of his that I nicknamed. Or Tyler, he might be on your team now. Kyler Murray was a COD prestige level 7.
Ah, right. Yes, Kyler Murray.
Yeah.
Fan favorite.
Yeah, that's a quick summation of my lowlights. The other one I want to bring up, although I didn't really watch the games, I did get a big kick out of placing six-legged parlays at the beginning of the season.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, the great state of Utah deemed it unfit for me to continue placing these parlays, and then the great state of California agreed. So it was a bummer to have Steve's Sunday 6-leg parlay
Cool.
fall off, not by my choice, but by government overreach. So
I
that
enjoyed
was a downer.
I
You know,
enjoyed
Utah
betting
makes
on
sense,
how many
but-
legs would hit.
You would think that California would be fine with it,
Yeah.
but
you
for
really
some
would.
reason, no.
They ain't rocking like that.
Weird. Well, it was great having you from the sidelines, just jumping in for the.
Steve, that was such a great list.
You're
That
in
was, it
there.
was really heartbreaking to listen to that, to be honest with you.
It was. That's
This
tough.
season really could have just gone the complete opposite for you. And you would have
It could
beat
have.
either of your division opponents this week.
Yeah.
I really could have. And let me say, I did note down some of the positives. I wanted a little silver lining to this cloud.
Yes.
Let me read you a couple. This week, Trevor Lawrence had the highest scoring individual game of any player this entire season when it mattered most. I think he threw for 4 touchdowns and rushed for 1. Shout out T-Law. Second season on my team. Never doubted him. I was happy that I was the first team to make a real official tanking move in all these years of fantasy in this sleeper league. Proud of that one.
That's a good.
And
Hey,
finally-
that trade
Mhm.
has panned out for you. And let me tell you, unfortunately for Slosh, he didn't bring it home because of an unfortunate. Let me ask you. I guess I'll ask Tyler. Would you have
Alright.
played Jawan Jennings or Jacoby Myers this week?
Oh, man. I don't know. With hindsight, it's so hard to say.
Well, okay, here's your hindsight. Trevor Lawrence had the highest scoring fantasy score of any player this year.
Yeah.
You really would have thought.
You know, who could say truly?
It's a shame. It's a shame. I'll admit, out in the cold, sitting in the snow at Foxborough, I said, "Oh, I would play Jacoby Myers." I didn't know that I would be clipping his wings.
I mean, you know,
We
it
all
was-
knew that the Trevor Lawrence 60-pointer was coming. We just didn't know when. I think that's the tricky part.
I think we all saw this coming, of course. Which, by the way, 5 passing touchdowns.
Sorry, I didn't mean to undersell my guy.
Yes. You're humble, and that's what we love about you. But
That's what keeps
yeah,
the team strong.
Trevor Lawrence. You might need to change his nickname from also not living up to potential to maybe living up to potential.
I might have to. There was a point where, and again, don't follow football. I think I had like the 3 arguably most disappointing first overall picks in like the last 15 years, maybe, with Bryce Young, Trevor Lawrence, and Caleb Williams when he was underperforming.
Well, maybe not.
I don't know
15,
if that's
but
accurate. I doubt it is.
Russell.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, but absolutely, the 2 generational talents that were disappointing, and also Bryce Young, who still was that first rounder.
Well, I still believe him.
Deep down, hey, do you still believe in Bryce Young? Will he be on your team next year?
Those are 2 different questions. I have lost some belief in Bryce Young, which, funnily enough, I think is when he'll come through for me again. But he will end up on my team probably on 2 or 3 occasions next year. It is kind of destiny.
2 or 3 occasions. He'll be passed around once again.
Yeah, he's got kicked off the team a couple times.
Yeah, he's got to learn his spot. Oh, what a season. What a time. And yeah, you have JSN one of the best keepers in the league now.
Mm.
Unfortunately, uh, Mr. Slosh did not have his team really compare to Jordan's all that much, which is a damn shame. He also,
I mean, I think it
moving
just
on
sucks
to,
scoring that many points and losing. I mean, it's like, what else? What else could you have done?
I know it's so unfortunate. There's nothing else to do, but that's life. And part of that is because he had this week's fucking shit fuck. mm, Dude, I don't fucking even know. He was good, he's bad. Philip Rivers is throwing in them shitter of the week. This is, yeah, Tyler, put those words in. Yeah, it's Tyler Warren. Uh, dude, what a fall off he had. Like,
Massive.
started out as like, oh my gosh, it's
Just
another
massive.
Brock Bowers. Who, Brock Bowers didn't have much of a season either. But now with Philip Rivers throwing, you're hoping he's going to be throwing short, maybe something like that. But no, dude, he did not get it to Tyler Warren, and yeah, that was his weakest point on his team. He was so close, 5 points, and no JSN. I worry for his sanity. Him, this is, I feel, worse than losing last year almost. He like had JSN in his grasp
Mm.
and then traded him and then proceeded to lose by 5 points.
Well, the funny thing is, didn't Bijan and Amon Ra still do really good for him this
They did
week?
amazing. They were
Like they
so
did
good.
exactly what he would have wanted them to do when he wanted
Yes.
them to do it.
The
It
trade
just
went
wasn't
so
enough.
well in so many ways, but it wasn't enough. And now we're left with the rematch. Next week, we're going to have Notorious Scoundrels. Somehow, I
Dude, it's happening.
somehow Notorious Scoundrels playing DJ Moore, who has just not been good. DJ Moore had his best game of the season in the playoffs this week. Imagine if he played Kyle Pitts. He had Kyle Pitts on the bench with 42 points.
Dude.
I mean, I don't know. I'm worried about him. Looking at the teams, there's no way he wins.
No, I think he's going to get absolutely dog walked.
But man, it's gonna be crazy if he wins.
I love it. I mean, I love the story here. A rematch of last year's championship. We're either going to have a repeat winner or Jordan's going to finally get over the hump and get his first. I mean, why? You couldn't ask for a better storyline.
It's gonna be beautiful. I want to give it up to Jordan and his team. And I just want to make. Actually, I'm not going to give it to Jordan. We've already talked about him. But big man of the week, I think it has to be Mr. Potential himself. Trevor Lawrence does deserve the big man of the week this week. Was he needed to defeat your opponent? No. In fact, if you didn't have Trevor Lawrence, if Trevor Lawrence scored 0, you would have lost but not by, oh, actually, no, okay. I didn't refresh. 43 points. If Trevor Lawrence scored half his points, you still would have handedly won. But you did get outscored by Bongside Kicks, who just decided to really go off this week as well. Dude,
I saw
yeah.
that, and I did feel those were the two teams that were a little above the toilet bowl. A little unfortunate to be there.
I agree. I think this was pretty clear which teams were going to the toilet bowl, and I think we've got a real shitter of a toilet bowl, you know? I really don't know who's going to come out at the bottom.
Dude, neither do I, man. I mean, both of these teams are just like they have some good things about them. I mean, Joe Burrow being back should help Too Much Water, but then again, Joe Burrow just scored like 7 points, so maybe not. And then on
Yeah,
the other
yeah,
side,
Burrow just got shut out.
yeah, and then with Grannies, you just have the absolute freaking powerhouse of Lamar, Cook, and Taylor. And that just carries this team so hard because the rest of this team is I mean, first of all, if you look at this bench, literally every single player on this bench is injured.
Wait, this is sad. This is rough. He's starting Tajay Spears.
Yeah,
Tajay
dude.
Spears got 3 carries.
You look at this starting lineup and you're like, how? And then you look at the bench and you're like, oh.
Oh, yeah. So we talked about last year about, hey, holding on to Michael Penix doesn't seem like a good idea. And then we took that back. Now, how do we feel about him holding on to Michael Penix, assuming in hopes of keeping him in the 14th round next year?
Quick analysis. That's not even the worst quarterback that he's holding on to. The Penix hold is better than the Dylan Gabriel hold.
You know what? You're not wrong.
The thing
This
Gabriel
guy's
is
really got us
crazy.
hype. Uh, yeah. There's got to be people that you want to pick up to help you this week. Jaden Reed is on the waiver wire. That could be pretty useful to someone
Considering you're
who's playing
starting
Tajay
Tajay
Spears.
Spears.
Do you want the
Yeah.
backup running back for the Titans? Or do you want, oh, one more injury, Tyler. I know you love this one. Christian Watson, after coming back, having an explosive like 4 or 5 weeks, is once again injured.
Oh, don't remind me. Dude, it's
Oh
killing me.
man.
Oh, God. The love, mostly hate, and then love, and then hate relationship with Christian Watson is the suffering and bane of my existence.
Yeah. It's it's tough out there, guys. But you know what? It's nice being in purgatory.
And it's nice
And
not being in the toilet bowl.
uh, you want to hear something funny? There are 2 leagues. There's one league that I have where I actually have won in the playoffs. And it's the only league that I auto drafted. It's the one I paid the least attention to, and I paid no money for it. And it's a 14-team league, and that's the one I'm nailing it in. The other league that I'm not even in, but Luke, my brother, just asked me to draft his team for him. So I drafted, like, he was driving and I drafted a team for him. I've given him all the, like, oh, you should add this guy, waiver wire this guy. And he's in the championship now. I can't win money to save my life, but
Damn.
wherever I'm not winning, I'm in the championship. Wherever I didn't invest anything in, championship. Everything else, nothing. So that's fun.
That's unfortunate.
Fantasy football is silly. The only reason I do any fantasy football research these days is for this podcast. I don't care. I, I don't give a shit about my team. But man, I care about the people. I care about the like 4 or 5 of you that probably listen.
I care about you too. But
Thanks, man.
no, I was talking to the guests, Josh.
Uh,
I
the
forgot to
guests? The guest is Steve.
Oh wait, sorry. The listener. Oh, the listeners are all our guests.
Yes.
Or I was just talking to
Appreciate
Steve,
the
whatever
love,
you want,
Josh.
really. But yeah, I'm starting to question why I have a spot in this podcast. I made the playoffs in one of my 3 leagues, and I was 6-8 in that league,
Yep.
and I lost to
Um,
Kyle Pitts.
Oh, Well, what are you gonna do? Kyle Pitts, he's finally online. Truly a generational talent for the ages. Probably gonna be a great asset going forward. And only someone as smart as Victor would draft him.
Yeah. So Josh, what do you think of this championship matchup between Victor and Jordan?
Okay. No, I mean, dude, it can't happen, I think.
Can't
Zay
or
Flowers,
won't?
I don't think it can happen. But if Odunze's out, DJ Moore, I mean, all of his matchups are shit too. I'm looking at them, except for maybe Barkley. But Stafford is against the Seahawks, great defense. Uh, we have DJ Moore against the Packers. Zay Flowers is against the Patriots. Which, by the way, it would be so great if the Patriots can shut the Ravens out of the playoffs as well.
Yeah, but the Patriots' pass defense is kind of ass. Actually, the whole Patriots defense is kind of looking ass.
It was pretty rough this week, but
Pretty ass.
pretty ass. Also, Victor has 2 empty bench slots.
I was just about to bring that up.
Yeah,
Poor management.
poor
Poor roster
management.
construction.
But here he
doesn't need
is.
it, bro. He doesn't.
Dude
need
has-
it.
He's got 2 Jets wide receivers on his IR. He's got both Garrett Wilson and Josh Reynolds. This is a man
I don't know what to
that
say
just
about
does things. I don't know
Dude.
why.
that. He's in the
I don't think
championship
you
for
know
a
why.
second year in a row. What do you like?
This is crazy. It's absurd. Honestly, it angers me every time I look at it. Because last year, I was like, oh no, his team is good. This year, I mean, this is not even a good team. I don't know why he's here.
I can't believe Andy lost. Andy's team
I-
just so massively underperformed.
I
Mahomes
know.
15, McConkey 3, Janty 7,
Jamar
Harvey,
Chase.
11.
He put up 20, I guess.
Jamar
How did-
Abuka 10.
Hey, shout out to Jamar Chase putting up 20 points in a game where his team was shut out.
Yeah, that is
Jamar
kind of
Chase
wild.
had
I didn't even think about
10
that.
receptions. Yeah. He had 10 receptions for 132 yards.
5 first downs.
Yeah. Wait, that's even. Yeah, 5 first downs. Dude, that's impressive. Shout out to Jamar Chase.
Shout out
But-
Jamar Chase, but it wasn't
Yeah.
enough.
But I'm so. There's nothing to say about Notorious Scoundrels versus the SCLSU Mud Dogs because the SCLSU Mud Dogs should destroy him. They have over 300 more points for on the season than him. Like,
Yeah, I mean, this roster is just so well constructed. I mean, Jared Goff's such a great QB1. Gibbs, Henry, McCaffrey, ETN. I mean, the running back room there is just insane. The only sort of weakness is that second QB spot. I mean, he's got Jacoby Brissett, who had a great week this week, but
he's been
he's
getting some play.
he's been tearing it
Been
up.
working.
But I mean, if that keeps going, I don't see any reason he
But-
shouldn't win.
No, the much more interesting is the toilet bowl to me. And if I'm looking at that, that one's a toss-up. It's 2 teams that have like some big hitters, like Puka Nakua. But I think Enso Tight is actually going to take it, honestly. I think Jonathan Taylor's kind of fallen off. Lamar Jackson's fallen off.
Yeah. I think
Yeah.
think with the return of Burrow and Kittle being back and playing really, really well now, I think that's going to be the real edge for this team.
Yeah. But it'll be interesting. Steve, what are your thoughts on this?
I think it's the right 2 teams in the matchup, with all due respect to their
In the
GMs.
toilet, yeah.
It's the right teams. I thought, like 3 weeks ago, when I was hell, I was probably for the toilet bowl like 8 weeks ago, but 3 weeks ago when I was thinking about the toilet bowl, I thought that Gabe was actually the one that I didn't want to face because of Jonathan Taylor. I think Jonathan Taylor put up like 50 points in
Yeah,
some
he's
game
had.
a couple weeks ago. He
Yeah.
had, like you were saying, the high end talent. It made me
Mhm.
really nervous because if just like three guys go off for like 40 points apiece, no one else really has
It's
to do
over.
anything that crazy. But like you said, it didn't seem like they really did that last week. It doesn't seem like Jonathan Taylor is gonna like finish the year strong, from what I can tell.
I don't think
So I
so.
do I do kind of agree. I do think it will be Gabe at the end of the year dancing.
Mm,
There's a pro and a con. I think Gabe set a very high bar for the dancing at the start of this league, which did this league a real service by setting a high enthusiastic bar for performing the
yes,
dance. But it's a shame that he's going to be potentially called in to do it again so quickly.
I agree. It is unfortunate, but we got to step it up, I suppose. And oh, hey, so unrelated. Tyler, do you have anything more on this topic?
Mine's like kind of related, at least.
Okay, go. You do yours.
I was gonna say, if Victor does somehow win and Gabe ends up losing, we will have had the same winner and loser 2 of the 3 years for this league.
Wow. Yeah.
Which
Uh,
dynasty do you think would be stronger in that case? I
I
think the Victor winning dynasty is something that we would never see again in
I
50 years, in
agree.
100 years. That's
I disagree.
generational.
If Victor wins the championship, I'm 100% in on the fact that he is some. He knows something. He made a deal with the devil with his soul. He did
That
something.
maybe.
I fully believe in him. If he wins this, he has my full faith.
No, 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 no. I don't care what happens. Victor has to be in the toilet bowl next year. Not just not in the playoffs. He has to be in the toilet. Do we remember? Let's quickly revisit Victor's draft.
I wanted to bring this up. I wanted to bring this up too. It was
Yeah.
remarkable day of.
Yeah. Damn. Watching this. All right. Victor's first round pick. He traded up. He took Saquon Barkley. Now, personally, I wouldn't have taken Saquon. Second running back off the board. You still have CeeDee Lamb on the board. I was a fan of. You still have Jameer Gibbs on the board. Personally, I would have gone with one of those, but fine. Second pick, Baker Mayfield. Ended up kind of working.
Getting right down to business.
Third pick, Chuba Hubbard. No, let's remember, he could have kept both of these players very late. Went in no keepers once again.
How is this man in the championship?
I don't know. Fourth pick, Garrett Wilson. Sure. Why not?
Yo, his third and fourth round picks have basically done nothing all of the year.
Yep. Fifth pick, Justin Herbert. He was good to start.
Sure.
Fine. That was a fine one. Now, this next string of picks, here's where I get kind of lost. Where I miss, like, when did you get players to play? Because we have Devontae Smith, DJ Moore, Zay Flowers, Jalen Waddle. Now, none of these players have been very good. By all intents and purposes, this draft seems bad.
They're
Still,
all
even at
just
the end of the year,
super
this is still
okay.
bad.
Like they're all
Ricky,
just super okay is the thing.
yeah. He didn't get Ricky Pearsall. That was traded away. He then got Brian Robinson. Did nothing. Now here's where he comes online. The old Victor strat of just get a running back or two that like actually does something later. Jalen Warren, Ramondre Stevenson, both not bad. Ramondre has fallen off. Jalen Warren's been pretty good. He also just threw in Matt Stafford down here.
Another quarterback.
That worked out. Double tapped the tight ends. Kyle Pitts, Jake Ferguson. Jake Ferguson for a while was the tight end one on the season.
Yeah, great.
Finished off with Rashad. Yep. Finished off with Rashad White, who saw a Bucky Irving injury coming that would last most of the season. Yeah, the draft is like it still wasn't even a good draft. I don't know why he's here.
Somebody even said it's truly an awful draft.
I don't know why he's here just at all. By the time that Victor had Garrett Wilson, Chuba Hubbard, Baker Mayfield, and Saquon Barkley, Steve had Bijan Robinson, Amon Ra, Devon Achane, and Josh Jacobs.
It was an electric start to the draft for me.
Amazing start to the draft.
With how the draft went.
Yeah, he had a great draft.
He does not have a single player on his roster that he did not have at the start of the year, like from his draft, except Josh Reynolds on his IR. That is it. That is the only player on his roster that he did not have from his draft.
God damn it. All right. I don't know. I don't get it. You know, Jordan, as your little baby boy, please take him down. just I'm supporting you from your division.
Victor, I want to see it again. I want to see if you can do it again. If you do it in the format of a 2-week championship game, no one can doubt your methods. No one can doubt them ever again.
That's what I'm saying. This is what I'm saying.
I'm gonna doubt. I'm gonna keep doubting. I'll be the hater. I'll do it. But we'll see.
I won't.
Hey, we'll
you
see.
know those maps of when like the Chiefs play somebody on Monday night and it's like who's rooting for the Chiefs and it's like just their state and then everything else is the other team.
Yeah.
I feel like that's like the Victor Jordan matchup going on here.
Victor. No. Oh. All right. Now listen, Steve, we got you here. We have a request from Andrew to give a little NBA update. You know, last year you gave us a little talk about soccer, which I learned a fun fact about that I think I shared, not on the podcast though. But I learned where the term soccer came from. Are you aware?
I'm not definitively aware, but I can take a guess.
Ooh, do it.
I'm guessing it's from the uniform. Is it from the high socks that they wear to cover the shin guards? No, then I don't know.
I would like
It's
to say
originally
yes.
Okay.
I think that it was named after a person.
This is the trivia now. This is the actual trivia now. This was good. This is the trivia.
I think that it was named after the person who first made it popular in America. James Soke.
No. In fact, here's your trivia. Where was the term soccer invented? What country?
Is it Australia?
No.
It's not the U.S., right?
No. No.
France.
No. It's England. They did it to himself.
That was my first.
No way.
God damn it.
Yeah. So the term soccer is actually an abbreviation of association football, which is what that football is. Whereas rugby, soccer, and American football are all types of football. One is referred to as rugby football, one is association football, and one is gridiron football. And association football refers to the sport of soccer, the most popular one. England shortened the SOC and association football to sock, and we're like, oh, they're playing soccer.
Can you
And
explain where they
created that
got
term.
that last of the word from?
The they
Yes.
added they added the ER to it because that's how the Brits speak.
Interesting. So they didn't take
Soccer.
anything from the word football. They shortened association
Correct.
and then said
Sock.
Yeah, well, there were already different types of football, such as rugby football, which is not referred to as rugby football; it's referred to as rugby.
Which makes sense.
Yeah,
I guess that
really.
tracks.
This whole the real football is the soccer one. I'm kind of over it. Turns out, because y'all already made. We're using the term y'all made, Mr. England.
Association.
I think it's interesting that they came up with a term and then decided, oh wait, no, this is stupid. We're gonna call it something else. And I
Yeah,
feel like they got it right on the second judgment.
yeah,
That association shouldn't be shortened to sock.
yeah.
And then with a suffix thrown on the end. I
Yeah.
feel like that was a
It,
bad call in the
I
first
think it was
place.
originally like ASOC, and then it was soccer, and it was just soccer. Like that was the transition it went through. But yeah. So this is basically this is my uh, proposal that we should really just call American football gridiron because that's way cooler. And why do we fight over football when we could call it that?
Gridiron.
Gridiron does sound metal.
Yeah,
Gridiron.
that
It
sounds
sounds
awesome.
intense.
You gonna watch that gridiron game this weekend? Gridiron.
Yeah,
It's not
Yeah.
something I would send my child to play.
yeah,
I'd be very nervous
exactly.
to send my child
Definitely
to
sounds really violent.
gridiron.
Yeah. So, yeah, me looking into this at first, I was like, oh, so we can call it football if we want. All of them are football, blah, blah, blah. And then I was like, no. My new thing is you can have football. I want gridiron.
Well, we have gridiron is the thing.
We have it, but we don't use it properly. So, yeah.
Wow.
That's
Anyways,
a
That's
fun
your
fact.
little, yeah, fun little fact. Anyway, tell us about basketball instead.
Sure.
Yeah,
I mean, me and
none of
Tyler
that.
can both hop in on this one.
Oh, yeah. I'll sit and drink.
I mean, to be honest, one of the most surprising stories I think of the season, Tyler, is your Lakers, and specifically Austin Reeves, who I still cannot believe. Not only did I not think he would be a serviceable NBA player at this point, I thought he was going to be like a sixth man, maybe off the bench. He's got to be. He's definitely an all-star. He's fighting for all NBA. This guy's got to be like a top 10 MVP candidate right now. Austin Reeves, of all people in the league, it's Austin Reeves. He's taking the league by storm, and I cannot believe it.
Dude, I mean, I've loved Austin Reeves ever since he's been on the team, and I always thought he had potential. I always thought that he was like a great starter alongside LeBron, but I will admit that not even I saw this coming. I did not know that this man could just casually drop 30-point games like it was nothing, have triple doubles like I did not know that this was possible from him, especially in the early season with LeBron and Luka both missing time. He just really stepped up. His performance has been unbelievable so far this year. And yeah,
He is
no,
genuinely incredible. I can't believe it.
Would you, for our football fans, would you akin this to the rise of a Baker Mayfield, or would you akin it to Michael Wilson's popping off without Marvin Harrison on the field?
great question. I don't know if either are a perfect example, but I think I like the Baker Mayfield one a little bit more.
Mm. He's fallen off, but there were times when he was actually almost a front runner for an MVP candidate
Yeah.
after so many seasons.
Josh, I'm
Yeah.
going to tie this back into soccer one last time. I would compare this to Bukayo Saka on Arsenal. Just that
Thank
guy
you.
you have from a young age. You're like, oh, this is going to be like a nice piece of the team moving forward if he develops right. And then he gets
Mm,
better, and then he gets better, and then he gets better. And then you look up one day and you're like, holy shit, this guy gets into like the best 11 in the world potentially. This guy's like one of the best players on our team right now. He might be the best player on our team.
we love
Austin Reeves is
that.
a step below that only because he plays with another, with a top 5-4 player in Luca, like a top like
Mm,
20 player in LeBron. He's unbelievable.
well,
And
great.
I think that's
Thank
what
you.
makes them one of 2 actual contenders to OKC. I think it's only the Lakers, and I think it's only Denver. I think Denver has
Oh
the
yeah.
best player in the world, and that always gives you a chance. And Jokic is just so unbelievably good and just streets ahead of anyone else in the league that I like you can't discount them in a playoff series. And he's got enough of a supporting cast that it works. And then the Lakers, I've like watched them play once or twice, and half the time they're like fucking around out there. Like Luca, the last game I saw, Luca like threw it between someone's legs on the way to throwing an alley oop to someone, and he's like smiling while he's playing basketball. Like he's not taking it seriously. Outside the
The
fact that he
Luca
shed like
Austin
30 pounds
Reeves
for the season.
dynamic is one of my favorite things ever. The fact that they're just like best friends now, I love that.
I also love that it forces LeBron to like act in the same way. Like LeBron is playing up for the cameras, like how like playful and fun he is on the team now, which I always get a kick out of LeBron being overly conscious of what the team perception is. Yeah, that I think is the main thing. Obviously, OKC I think is the best run team we've seen potentially ever in terms of a GM
I think
standpoint. What
without a
Sam
doubt.
Presti's done is incredible. I've done
Yeah,
similar things in 2K, and even that felt like I wasn't being fair on the computer logic. But what
bro.
he's done with amassing all of the picks, all the great players, every player they get ends up being good, which is also they'll have like the 19th pick in the draft. They'll get someone. They'll sound like a default generated player for like 2 years. And then you look up and you're like, oh, Ajay Mitchell's like a legit NBA player that's like the 8th man off their like bench. It's unbelievable what they do there. I don't know
Yeah,
how they do it.
I think Sam Presti has trade override turned on.
He has to have something. He has to have trade override. He must have scandalous pictures of Adam Silver. I have no idea what he has, but he's set up that team. Like if any team can survive the like second apron age of parity or whatever, it's OKC. They just keep drafting more good guys. They might have another like top 5 pick this year because they
I'm in
had the
full
Clippers pick.
belief that the league should collude and just like collectively trade good players to the Clippers just so that the Thunder cannot possibly get a lottery pick this year.
There is a genuine argument if you are in the Western Conference, like that's not a bad move. If you've got a guy in your team that you don't like totally need but would help the Clippers out, just send him that way.
It's just
Give
move them.
James a little help, maybe. Give Steve a little help in his new
Dude,
arena.
because this is a generational draft class coming in. If they get a top 5 pick with the roster they already have, it's like gonna be like 6 straight championships. Like it's gonna be like the Celtics in the fucking '60s.
How
It's
big
going
are
to be
draft picks
unbelievable.
in the NBA? I feel like not of all the team sports or of the like the bigger team sports, NBA has the
Bless
Bless
you.
you.
excuse me. Thank you. But having a 5-man starting lineup is a single person more valuable in NBA than in most like in football, unless it's a
I think
quarterback.
without a doubt, yes. I think even
Yeah.
quarterback, like one player can just completely transform an entire team. Like if you take Nikola Jokic off the Nuggets, that team wins like 20 games.
Their ass. Their ass.
Like
And the other
they're
big
not
thing
even
is
Wow.
a,
when
like they're
you
not even a functional roster anymore.
exactly. And the other big thing is you
Wow.
get a cost control, a potentially incredible player. So if they get the number one pick in the draft, the top, like the very best players in the NBA are going to be on like $50 million a year contracts. If you get like the third pick in the draft, I'm not sure what they make. I assume it's around like 20, 22 million, something like that. So if you get someone like, say you got like Wembanyama on the Spurs, you have a top five NBA player for a third of the cost of what they would normally be. So you can fill the team around them super well. Which is the crazy thing about OKC is that they only just had to play their good players because they were all so young so far. So if they get into the situation where now they've got three players on legitimate contracts, I am super curious if they draft a stud in these shoes draft class, do they ship out Jalen Williams or Chet before they necessarily need to keep the entire team under the cap while maintaining a ridiculous amount of draft equity? It's what I would do in 2K, which Sam Presti has essentially done for the last like 5 years.
Dude, that's
I'm
literally what
very
he's
curious to
gonna
see how
do.
that plays out.
I think that's exactly how it plays out.
Yeah.
But
And it's gonna be a completely unprecedented move. He's gonna trade like a top 15 player under the age of 25. Yeah, he's gonna fleece some team for like
Bro,
six
because
picks, and it's
and
all
then
gonna
when you
start over
trade that
again.
player, you just get a bunch of firsts right back in return. Like it's just a never-ending cycle. As long as you keep
Yeah.
hitting on every draft pick you make, the cycle never breaks.
And all you need is one idiot in one front office to make that trade. And there's always going to be a GM of the Sacramento Kings who will give you all of their first round picks to take on some dude. Like there's always going to be that guy who will blow up the entire future of his roster because he thinks Jalen Williams is like the ultimate answer to everything his franchise needs. So like all he has to do is feast off those GMs.
Oh man.
I would have the Kings GM on speed dial if I was Sam Presti. He would be my emergency contact. If I'm going into the hospital, I want to call the Sacramento Kings GM and see if I can snag a quick first round pick before I go down. It's the right thing to do.
Oh man. That was great. I do want to pick your brain because you brought him up earlier on Nikola Jokic. Right now, if you had to put him on the all-time list, where do you put him? That's my first question. I got like three.
All time. So I played like close attention to his stats, not to diverge too much. I'm in like a dynasty basketball league, and I got Jokic and Luka, which is such an unbelievable combo to have. So I'm watching like the Jokic stats every night. Every night it's like a 35-point efficient triple double, which is unbelievable. All time, I'd say he's somewhere between like 10 and I'd say like 12 and 20 for me right now. Because I think he needs one more ring to really get in the conversation. Because he's kind of got like the Wilt thing going on right now where he's putting up stats that like no one has ever seen. But he needs some like championships to go along with it. But he also like anytime you watch him play, he's not the reason they ever lose in the playoffs. He's unbelievable every time. There's just always some team that's like more stacked. So somewhere between 12 and 20. And I will say, when I watch him play, he is a traffic cone on defense. That guy doesn't do anything, which is kind of fine as like a big, heavy center because they can kind of be like, hey, like Nikola, stand under the basket and do this, and like don't foul him because we don't want you to foul him out. And that's like kind of fine. But he is, besides Luka, the worst defender I've ever seen out of like a generational player. So like if you put him in like the top 20, he's going to be by far the worst defender in the top 20, but arguably the best offensive player. So let's stick him like 15 for argument's sake.
So that kind of bridges perfectly into my second question, which is in terms of offensive peaks, where do you place what he's doing right now? Is this the highest offensive peak we've ever seen from a player?
Dude, I don't want to. It feels like such a. I don't know if you guys used to watch First Take, but such a Max Kellerman ass take to be like, well, if you look at the statistics, if you compare them, if you take the emotion out of it, he is having probably the best offensive prime of anyone. But I think you need to factor in that it's easier than ever to score. So it's like open for people to do that. And the game has evolved in this like crazy way where these 7-footers are allowed to like handle the rock and distribute and like basically play like point guards. So I would say that if you look at it objectively, I think he's the best offensive player to ever play. If you want to do the like adjusting for his era, he's probably like top 5 or top 6. Because I don't think he's like as far away from his peers as like say Jordan or Wilt would be. You know, the variation's not quite there. I mean, it's incredible, but I don't think it's the same as those two.
Oh yeah. All right. No further questions on Nikola Jokic.
Man, we gotta have
Thank you.
like basketball discussions when Steve is on every time. It's crazy how knowledgeable you are and how well, how intelligent you come across talking about every sport that isn't football.
Except
That
the
is
only one
gridiron.
that I ever get interviewed on camera for.
Yeah. Well, you say that. You've been interviewed for both soccer and basketball now.
That's what I'm saying. And I think
Yeah.
I had very good arguments
Yeah.
on both cases.
Yeah, I think it's been very good. Very
Don't have to know a
astute
whole lot about
for all of them.
football.
All right. That's probably enough basketball for now, though. Tell you what, if you want more basketball, leave a comment. And maybe we'll do a special segment.
They never leave comments anymore.
The only time they've ever left a comment is when we challenged Jordan to leave the lyrics of, I think, Mr. Brightside. As an I'm sorry
do
for
that.
canceling on the podcast.
Do that again.
You know
do
what?
It right now.
Yeah, do that. Do it.
If you're listening, Mr. Brightside lyrics. Script to the B movie in the comments.
Either one works. Your choice. We'll be gracious. But time to move on because we got to get to bed at some point. So Tyler, you want to take it away? Everyone's favorite segment.
Right on. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Degenerate Gambling Corner, where we win the money, we lose money, and we lose money. We really just lose money.
Sorry, you broke up for a second there. From our end, you said right on and then disconnected.
Dang. Well, on the bright side, we record from my end, so they'll never know
So
if you.
matter.
So sorry that you guys missed the intro, but yeah, I just all of a sudden heard you guys laughing, and I was like, "What did I do?" Made me really self-conscious.
What is it? Anyway, lose the money.
Anyway, we're it's not good. After 2 great years of NFL gambling back to back, this year has not been very good for me. I am like barely hovering above my break-even point for the season right now. So we basically just haven't really done anything all year except kind of stay neutral. So I'm starting to doubt myself a little bit this year. But you know what? We're going to forge on because we got some great lines this week. Specifically, we got the New England Patriots. And, disappointing. I lost a good chunk of money on them to the Bills this week. But it's okay because the Patriots are plus 130 on the road at the Ravens. But what I like about this is that you can get them at plus 10.5 for about minus 370. What are our thoughts?
Plus 10.5 or minus 370. Yeah, I like that. I think this is a pretty even game. I like 10.5 seems safe.
I like it
Yeah,
too.
I have to agree. That was about my call on that as well.
I'm glad you like it because we got another team that we're going to take plus 10.5. Well, first of all, let's talk about their opponent, the Kansas City Chiefs. The Chiefs just lost Patrick Mahomes. He's shut down for the year. They're not making the playoffs. I half expect Travis Kelsey to like fake an injury and be out for the rest of the year. So what if I told you I think that the Tennessee Titans are a phenomenal pick this week. Plus 10.5, you can get the Tennessee Titans at minus 350. What are the thoughts, boys?
Okay. It's
I
the
want to push back on this. I think who's on my team, Rashi Rice, is a offensive dynamo. I think that guy's going to get involved in every phase of the game, and I think the Chiefs might be okay on this one.
I think they'll get the win. I like the Patriots better because I still think the Chiefs are just a well-coached team and the Titans are not. That being said, it's probably partially just recency bias or past bias of Chiefs are good and Titans are bad. And honestly, the Titans have fucked me over every time I've tried to bet against them, I think. So I
Right.
guess might as well bet for them.
And they don't even have to win. They just have to cover a 10.5 spread. Easy.
Honestly, yeah. No, I take it back. I'm with it. I'm with it.
Well,
Chiefs don't
finally,
run up the score much these days.
we got one more team we're throwing on this parlay right now, and that is going to be the Detroit Lions. Detroit Lions playoff hopes are dangling by a thread right now. They really got to put something together for these last 3 games. They're at home this week with another team that's fighting for their division right now, and that is the Pittsburgh Steelers. But I think that the Lions are the better team. They have the home field advantage coming into this week. I think they're the better coached team. I think that they have more to prove right now. I think the Lions get the win at home.
Uh I don't like it at minus 325. I'll be honest. I think the Steelers could just show up and Aaron Rodgers could just decide that he can play football today. I think the Steelers are, for how consistent of a team that they are, I think that they're also one of the most unpredictable because Aaron Rodgers can be quoted saying, like, yeah, I'm 42. Sometimes I wake up and it just kind of hurts. And if he wakes up and it hurts, then we're good. But if he goes and starts slinging it, I don't know. They're missing TJ Watt still, are they? TJ Watt has a collapsed lung. Fun fact, partially collapsed lung.
What?
Yeah, that happened last week.
Oh.
Yeah, on what didn't happen during a game or anything, but he did have to get kind of emergency-ish surgery on a partially collapsed lung. So yeah. Now, I I still think the Lions will probably win, but I don't. I would rather just put more money on the spreads that you gave before than money line the Lions, since with them being similar odds. Personally,
That's pretty fair.
and you know
Steve,
what? That being said, I'll bet on the Steelers, so you guys can bet on the Lions and win.
if you think the Steelers are going to win, they're plus 260 on the money line. I mean, hold up, Josh. What if I told you that instead of taking the Lions, we could take the Steelers at plus 16.5?
Yeah, no, I'm doing that. I think.
So if we instead take the Steelers at plus 16.5, we still get our parlay at a nice little plus 105.
Oh.
Steve, who are you riding with? Steelers or Lions?
I'm gonna go with the Lions. I I don't know. Aaron Rodgers seems old to me. Are they in Detroit for the
Yeah.
game?
Yeah.
Is it at
Oh,
Yeah,
Detroit?
yeah.
they are.
I don't trust a 42-year-old man in the cold. That doesn't feel right to me.
After he
I'm
makes a
gonna go
nice
with the
long
Lions.
plane ride, get off that plane, stiff old body in the cold. It
He's
hurts,
gonna be
Josh.
creaking out there. I don't trust it. I will take the Lions.
Okay,
Lions by a
fair.
billion.
The Lions Stadium, Ford Field does have a dome, so it's not. It's like a little bit better. You know, it's not
AC.
like it's Cleveland, but yeah. Yeah. I don't know. It feels like a game that is closer than I would put those spreads at. I do have a touchdown lock of the week.
Oh yeah, let's throw it over to Josh.
Now keeping in mind that the touchdown lock of the week is also in a much larger way not a lock at all, and I want to win money by
Okay.
calling something out. And I'm going back to a team that is the only team that I've succeeded in calling out touchdowns for, which is the Seahawks, usually with Torrey Horton. But I'm
Okay.
going to give it to Cooper Cup in his in a game against his former team, the Rams.
Mm.
Why are you doing that, Josh? Cooper Cup is old. Well, I understand how you may think that, and you would actually be right in thinking so. But the last time that they faced the Rams, they did show more of an effort to get him the ball. It didn't
What's
go
the
all that
line?
well, if I'm being honest. Didn't score a touchdown. Actually didn't have a great game. But I think he can do it.
What's the line?
Oh, plus 380.
It's not bad. That's
Yeah,
not
yeah, yeah.
bad at all.
That's all I'm saying. All I'm saying is
I
what I'm
kind of
saying.
rock with that. But anyway,
That's
that does
cool.
it. Thank you.
Oh,
Until next time. For the degenerate gambling corner.
yeah, of course. We still have uh man, we got the pick'em.
It's pick'em time, baby.
Yeah, and let me tell you, the guests have fallen behind. The guests Andrew's pick failed. He chose the Giants. I chose the Giants. I lost a little bit of money on that. The
Dumb
guests
pick.
are now sitting at 11-2. Tyler is still at 13-0, and I am at 8-5. So that's, we're trying.
There are
But
only 3
Steve,
more weeks.
it is you are the only person in this league that has not picked a team, I think.
That
You don't
sounds
have any
right to
written
me.
for Jordan, but I assume he did at some point. So, how will you stamp your legacy on this season with this pick?
All right. So I'm shaky on how this works. So you need to
Oh,
remind me.
that checks
I need to
out.
pick a team that has not been picked by any of the other
Yes.
guests,
And
correct?
if you look in the
Yes.
general chat is a list of the teams that have been picked,
I see. I see.
including
This
you
is
can't choose the Rams or Giants.
the Rams or the Giants. All right. All right. I'm going
I
to read off 3 teams. You tell me, do any of these fail? I had the Dolphins,
oh
the
yeah
Vikings, or the Texans.
you
Those were the
can
3 teams I was considering.
pick
Y-
all three of those.
Yes, yes,
There's
you
one I would
can.
pick before. There's one of those I would probably pick.
The
Oh, very
Dolphins.
interesting. I have no idea which one that is.
Definitely the Dolphins.
I
Or
was
the
Uh,
Vikings.
I was leaning Dolphins, to be honest.
okay.
I was leaning Dolphins. They have a good running back. I'm gonna go Dolphins. I like their running back.
All right.
All right.
Choosing the Dolphins.
Now that that's locked in, I would love to know your assessment of my 3 options.
The
The
first
Texans would have been a good pick.
the first two
Yeah, I thought so too.
options were a little shocking. Um,
Shocking.
I
Shocking
mean,
is not the
the
word I
Dolphins
was
are at
thinking.
home against the Bengals. It's not like the
they're
most
also
unreasonable pick ever.
they are considered underdogs in the game.
The Dolphins.
Yeah.
The Miami Dolphins. Get out of town. I thought that they had won a couple.
Um,
What do you know? You're right.
What was his other option? The Vikings.
The Vikings,
Vikings
are,
over the
are the
Giants.
favorites. They are the favorites.
All right.
Yeah.
Would
Also,
you
the
like the
Texans over the
opportunity
Raiders.
to change your pick
Yes.
to the Vikings or to the Texans?
No,
The Texans-
no.
No.
You're
Let's put
locked?
it this way. Let me give you the spreads of those 3 games. So the Dolphins are plus 114 to win.
Not horrible.
Listen.
Not even terrible.
The Vikings are minus 155.
Mhm.
Solid.
And the Texans
Texans
are the Texans are minus 1600.
Oh, well, fuck me, I guess. Well, I thought that the Dolphins, were they not on a roll somewhat?
They were.
Had
They were. They actually were on a 5-game win streak, and that broke last week. But who's to say that it's not going to work? If I'm being honest, I actually do think the Dolphins will beat the Bengals. I think that if you're trying to keep good teams for another couple weeks, that's a good pick.
That didn't factor into my decision, but
Well, yeah, well,
thank you.
yeah.
We can pick
I'd like to
Uh,
lock in the
okay.
Miami
Yeah,
Dolphins.
you chose an underdog. I don't know what to tell you.
These
I-
things
like-
happen. Someone had to do it eventually. No,
Yeah, Vegas factually disagrees with your pick, but like I love the heart.
also went to Vegas. What a shithole. What a shithole. They don't know what they're talking about.
That,
Those
was there
people
like a
kicked
good
outside.
strip? Was there a good part?
There was the strip.
Yeah,
The strip. That it was fun for like a day.
yeah.
Fun for a day, and
Gamble?
then I didn't go outside for 3 days. I think we ended up only being out like $100 or something.
Oh,
I'm just not like a
nice.
big like the actual like table games and like slots and stuff. I'm just not like big on that. I think.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow. So did you have fun on your trip?
I had a blast. I had a great
Oh.
time. Vegas specifically. Vegas and Salt Lake City. I wouldn't recommend. But we stayed a total of 6 days, I think,
All right.
across those 2 locations.
Out of the
Out of
80
the
days,
out of the 90.
90
Out of the
days.
90 total.
Yeah.
Boulder and San Diego were absolutely lovely.
Boulder's awesome. I love Boulder.
Incredible. Loved it there.
Great place. Great place. All right. My turn to pick. Now, I've already picked the Texans. So, Tyler, I think so that'll probably be what you're getting.
Who's
I'm
to
going
say?
I'm going to be taking the Eagles over the Commanders. They beat the Giants, but I don't think they're going to beat the Eagles. And I'll leave it at that. Yeah.
It's a good pick.
Yeah, they're going to DC, but I don't think the Commanders are pretty broken right now. Yeah. By the way, my trade with Jordan really ended up a win for him in the end. It's like as much as Kyler Murray was a nothing, I think that him getting Jahmyr Gibbs this season, like super offset having Jaden Daniels as the keeper with how injured he got. So that was a bummer.
Win some, you lose some.
The process behind it wasn't bad, Josh. You can take
I
some
like
salt
the
from that.
process. Yeah, that's what we hope for. But yeah, Tyler, finish this off.
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna take the Texans. Did not think it was gonna fall to me. Happy it did. If the Texans end up losing this, it will be, I think, possibly the funniest possible way for me to break my winning streak.
Yeah, that would be insane.
Because no offense, Steve, but like the Texans was like the pretty obvious like pick, and so if they fall to me, I pick them, and they end up losing. What you did will go down in the history books as one of the greatest like plays ever.
Yeah,
I
That'd
would
be
be
awesome.
delighted. I would love for my pick to not be labeled as shocking anymore. Maybe
Yeah.
a masterpiece.
That said, if I win and the guest loses, I win. Just saying.
Yeah, it's official. But I still. Is it possible for me to catch up to the guests? How many weeks do we have? Two.
3. You
We,
would
we,
need. You
three.
need. You
Three would
can.
be 18.
You
If
can.
I went out and they lose out, yeah, I
So
can
a
do it.
result in either
Hey,
direction.
let me ask you this, just to close out the show. Was Sam Adams' cold snap just like a one-off thing? Is it never coming back? Because I
Man,
can't find Sam Adams' cold snap. And it's kind of worrying me.
I'm googling this right now. As far as I knew, it was a yearly thing.
That's what I thought. But like what? Oh, it's released in spring?
What? No.
That doesn't even make
What?
sense. Oh, wait, that's what a cold snap is, isn't it? Isn't a cold
Um,
Oh, oh. Is that the thing that what's a cold snap? Quick new trivia. What's a cold snap?
is that
It's
not when like the
when.
thaw breaks or something, or when it all
Oh no,
thaws
a
out?
cold snap is
To
it's
the opposite.
what'd you say?
I might have gotten it mixed up,
Wait, what'd you say?
or exactly the opposite. I thought it was when like the cold broke.
Yeah, you got it
Uh,
the opposite. It's a short sudden period of unusually cold weather, which is like I feel like that should be out in the winter. I don't know. But
I mean,
waiting
it
on the
says
cold
it's
snap.
released in
Wait.
January. That's the winter.
Oh, well, thank you, Gemini, for lying to me.
Well,
Remember, kids,
don't
don't
trust
trust
mine because
AI.
I also read the AI overview. So, who knows which one
Well,
of our
hey,
AIs is really
either way,
correct?
one of them is lying. So I don't need none of that. All right. Well, we'll see you in January for the first cold snap of the year. A new yearly tradition. And with that, I think that's it. Victor, set your lineup. Do your darndest. It'd be crazy to see you come out on top. It would like absolutely absurd. You don't deserve it. That's all.
Yeah, just as a
But
side note, there's a web page called Sam Adams Finder, and it tells you where and when all the beers are out. It's really cool.
nice.
no.
Wow. There you go. Sponsored by Sam Adams. Seeing as soon everyone on this podcast right now, minus Steve, is going to be in Boston. But Steve will still be in the Boston area,
Greater Boston area.
the greater Boston area. That's what everyone, yeah. So that's cool. Say your lineup, Victor. Go get him, Jordan.
Victor, I'm rooting for you. No one thinks it could be done. You go do it.
I'm going to stay the heel, but man, if you prove me wrong, you prove me wrong. Good night, everybody.